Okay. Right. So here we are, Friday. Thanks for accommodating me with the schedule changes this week. I've been kind of testing times with the kids doing online school and needing the internet bandwidth. So far so good. It looks like we can share bandwidth in the household. So just keep watching. I'm going to keep releasing the schedule by the week, but next week I don't have my girls, so we'll have the 8 a.m. class times on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But going forward, just kind of stay tuned for that. I'm still making a few adjustments. As you probably know, the classes are now recorded, so if the times don't work for you, feel free to email me for the class link and I'll send it to you. It's a couple of dollars. It's $7 as opposed to $10. So it's a little bit of a discount. It's a great way to keep up with your practice if you don't have the time to meet when the class is scheduled. So today I thought, because a lot of people are transitioning with their life, we would do a restorative standing practice, meaning we're going to use more support. We're going to use a chair quite a bit today. And hopefully that'll be a nice treat for all of us. We're going to start, as we usually do, seated, and take some time with your position so that you can really find the space of the spine. And today we're going to talk a little bit about space in our postures. So just really kind of finding a sense of spaciousness as you align yourself, as you use the support of your lower body to create more lightness in your spine. Finding extension and expansion in the torso, across the chest, across the lower back. And then eventually moving your hands together in front of your heart and closing the eyes and looking away from your brain, inviting a sense of quiet in the brain and an opportunity to tune into the breath, the inner body, the experience of sensation. Noticing the mind state this morning. Just keep letting the shoulders drop away from the ears. And as you hold this position, I'm going to read to you from B.K.S. Iyengar's book, Light on Life, The Journey to Wholeness, Inner Peace, and Ultimate Freedom. It's a really beautiful book. And this is a passage about spaciousness and about our practice. One should not overstretch nor understretch. If one thing is overstretched, something else gets understretched. If overstretching comes from a swollen ego, then understretching results from a lack of confidence. If overstretching is exhibitionism, understretching is escapism. Overstretching and understretching are both wrong. Always stretch from the source, the core, and the foundation of each asana. This is the art of dynamic extension. It is not yoga that injures, but it is the way one does yoga that leads to injury. The moment space becomes narrow, it means you are injuring. In the correct asana, there's no narrowness. Even if your body is stiff, you have to bring space. Always try to extend and expand the body. Extension and expansion bring space, and space brings freedom. We'll use this passage kind of as a way to create context around our practice today. As you're ready, just take a moment to bow toward the heart, honoring your own inner guru, your own inner teacher. Release your hands when you're ready. And again, when you're ready, lift the head and let your eyes come open. And welcome. So we're going to find our way to standing. And the chair that you've found, you can place behind you. We're going to come into mountain pose. And we're going to use the chair a lot today just to kind of keep cultivating a sense of spaciousness in our poses. A way to strike the balance between over and underdoing in our poses. So you're going to put the chair behind you in a way that the high part is nearest your body. And then you can join the legs and feet unless that's unstable for you. Feel free to separate the legs. But we want to have to reach back a little bit for that chair. We don't want it directly against us. And as you reach back for the chair, the shoulders come back and the chest lifts and spreads. So align yourself in mountain pose, keep your hands on the chair, close your eyes, take the tailbone into the front body. Try to envision the backs of your thighs absorbing the fronts of your thighs. Keep your skull directly over the spine and just become taller, lift through the top of the head. Also plant your feet. And when you feel the lift and spread of the chest, you feel shoulders are staying back nicely. Release your hands without losing the placement of the shoulders. Keep the hands alongside your body, away from the chair now. This pose, we become very compact in the outer body. And in doing so, we feel the inner body really open up and become more spacious. So just take a few moments letting your breath move into this spaciousness within you. Not only lengthening on the in-breath, but feeling the spread of the breath throughout the body. Feeling the firmness of your legs. Taking a moment to just lift a little bit taller through the head, lifting your pelvis, your rib cage, your skull. And try to be here without overdoing and without underdoing. Just the right amount of effort. And as you're ready, releasing the pose, the efforts of the pose, letting your eyes open. Release your legs, maybe shake them out, maybe shake your arms out as well. And we're going to use the chair now for a little sequence of downward dog, plank, and cobra. So again, we're going to be working with the higher part of the chair. And you can have the chair in front of you, kind of the length of the mat running up, forward and back. And we're going to start with a downward dog. So you're going to step away from the chair until you're folded in half, 90 degrees at the hips. And you're really extending toward the chair so that your back body is level. So your palms can be on the chair, maybe your wrists, maybe you're holding the chair. It doesn't really matter. But try to find your legs more vertical. So some of you have a little bit of a slant on your legs. Try to keep your hips in line with your heels. And draw your hips away from the chair. This is a really kind of joint-friendly way to do downward facing dog. A lot of us, even not chronically, but sometimes acutely experience joint pain. So it's good to know these modifications. Find the spaciousness in the torso and extend your legs as fully as you can. And notice how gravity kind of moves the torso toward the floor. So meet that by moving the front body toward the back body. If your neck is a little bit stiff, try some gentle movement. Nodding yes in slow motion is a good one. Tucking the chin and then extending the gaze forward. You can also circle the chin in one direction and then the other. We'll just stay a few more moments here, just kind of inviting the spaciousness, the length. So we want to see that all 4 feet of the chair are on the mat so that we know the chair's not going to go anywhere. And you can kind of round your spine to come out of it. And you'll probably step forward a little bit, and you're going to try to find a plank position on a chair. So you're kind of angled at the chair, your heels are lifted, Your legs are firm. And remember, plank position, we don't arch the back, we don't round the back. So the shoulders, hips, and heels are in a line. And now we're gonna change that and come into Cobra Pose. So take the hips toward the chair, arch your back, lift your gaze. Open the chest, spread the chest. And then bring yourself back to downward dog. You might need to adjust your feet. We're gonna do it just a couple times. So stay in your downward facing dog position for a few breaths. And it's nice to come back to poses. We can kind of come right back to where we left off and keep progressing from there. Transition as you're ready to that chair version, that standing version of a plank. So you're going to be angled toward the chair. There's some weight in your hands. You're trying to create one line from the shoulders to the heels. You really have to drive the tailbone into the body. And then as you're ready, take the hips toward the chair. Keep moving the tailbone in, open your chest, lift your gaze. And one more time, take the hips back. We'll do it one more time. Couple breaths, extend, lengthen. Also broaden, expand the sacrum, the upper back, the thoracic spine. Start to find your way to standing again one last time, that standing plank position. Extend your legs. Neutralize the pelvic tilt. And then keep moving the tailbone forward. Open the front thighs. Arch your back, look up. And find your way back to downward dog. So you have two options from here. We're going to come into Uttanasana. If you have a folding chair, you can fold the chair up, angle the higher part toward your thighs, and lengthen over the chair that way. And if you don't have a folding chair, you can take a resting Uttanasana using your own arms, grabbing your elbows, and just kind of hanging freely. So we're going to come into either version, depending on what you have at home. And if you have the chair, you might slide your hands down the chair legs. But we want to see again that the legs are vertical. Let your head hang freely no matter which version you're doing. Finding that spaciousness. That spaciousness is really a clue that we're striking the balance in our poses. Again, just like the book says, no matter how stiff you are, we can all find a sense of spaciousness. About 5 more breaths. Keep making inquiry. There might be places in the body that are somewhat resistant, maybe still feeling small or compressed or collapsed. Find the space. Sometimes using the breath is a great way to open space in the body. Invite the breath in. If you're using the chair, you can kind of climb the hands back up the legs. And if you're in that free standing version, bend your knees, drop your arms, take your hips, and we're all coming up together. And if you did fold up the chair, open it up again, and we're going to place the chair to the right end of the mat for triangle pose. We're going to use the seat of the chair for the hand. Love this version of triangle, very spacious feeling. Make sure at least 2 of the feet are on the chair. And then step your feet wide. And we'll take the right toes out 90 degrees. Take the left toes in 15 to 45 degrees, lining up the right heel with the arch of the left foot. And then take hold of your hips and just steer yourself to pointing the hips evenly at the broad side of the mat. Make sure your knee didn't rotate with that. We want to rotate from the inner thigh out of the right leg. We'll take the arms up and really lift the torso. Open up the arms. And then revolve from elbows to fingertips. Inhale, extend to the right on the exhalation, and place the hand in line with your shoulder. And we're going to take that left hand onto the left hip for now. Roll that left shoulder back and try to bring the right buttock forward. And take your torso 2 inches back in space behind you. And just feel the freedom here. The torso likes to pitch forward in this pose, so we're countering that, and we're supporting that countering with this chair today. Once your head is back and your torso is farther back, then realign the left arm up. And try to grow the space between the shoulders. Keep the head back. And just experience the pose with more support, more space. Maybe you can clean up some of the wise actions. Maybe you can bring attention elsewhere in the body. Good. We're going to bring that top arm down. And now you're going to gently start to rotate to face the floor. And you're going to pivot in just slightly with the back foot, with your left foot. Pitch it in a little bit more. We're coming in a revolving triangle. Reach your left arm forward toward the right end of the mat. And then cross the body and take the left hand onto your chair seat. Get your bearings, get your balance, and as you're ready, take the right hand up onto the right hip. Try to compact your right hip toward midline and start to revolve the torso to face the back of the mat. And just like you did before, sense the torso kind of pitching to the right. Try to take the torso toward the camera. Maybe that right arm can come up. Maybe you're going to keep it on your hip. Try to keep spaciousness in the pose as your first priority. And now gently come back to triangle pose. Place your right hand down. Take the left arm up and see if you can move the whole torso 2 inches back in space. Roll the right buttock forward, the left shoulder back. Nice. Left hand comes onto your hip. Inhale and help yourself up. Turn the toes forward and bring the feet back together. We're going to switch our chair to the left. Take some time with your setup. See that you've joined that line from left heel to right arch, that you have enough distance between your feet. Take your hips, try to turn them back to the broad side of the mat without the knee following. So keep a little rotation on that left inner thigh, from inner thigh out. Take the arms up. And open the arms. And then revolve elbows to fingertips. Inhale, exhale, extend left. Placing the left hand down. Take the right hand onto the right hip for now. And imagine you have a ponytail and someone's just gently pulling you back a couple of inches. And with the support of that left hand, you can do that safely. Roll the left buttock toward the camera. Roll the right shoulder back. Keep a sense of spaciousness to your left side body. And then stack the top arm. And try to spread the distance across the chest. Because of gravity, you might feel that that top arm is kind of coming out down into the bottom arm. Resist that. Reach the top arm up. Extend your left toes to the left, farther to the left. Keep rolling the left buttock toward the camera. Good. And now gently taking your hand and reaching as as far as you can. Top arm is going to reach to the left. Got to let someone in here for the room, but keep reaching to the left. Place that hand down on the chair. Good. Revolving our triangle. For now, take your left hand onto your left hip. Make sure to turn the right toes slightly farther to the left. And on an exhalation, revolve your torso to the back of the mat. Draw the outer left hip bone in toward midline. Take the whole torso back in space, just like you did on the first side of the triangle pose. And then maybe stack the top arm. But notice if it increases or decreases your sense of space to do that. And if it decreases your sense of space, think about bringing the hand back to the hip and staying with that spacious version of your pose. Couple more breaths. Top of the next in-breath. Following that, you're going to bring that top arm down, face your chair, return to the first triangle pose, not revolved. And see if you can come right back to the version where you're taking the torso slightly farther back in space. You're able to move that left buttock forward, top shoulder back. Keep extending through the crown of your head. Firm your legs. Bringing right hand onto the right hip. And now gently help yourself up. Turn your toes forward and step the feet together. So without moving the chair, we're going to recreate that first mountain we did by interlocking the hands behind the back. Roll the shoulders back and try to fully extend your arms. And use the hands against your buttocks as a reminder to move in there, bringing the buttocks toward the front body. Close your eyes, look down. And without changing anything else, separate the hands so that arms are extended right at your sides. Seeing in your mind's eye roots beneath the feet and lengthening out beyond the crown of the head. Good. Let your eyes gently open. Release the efforts of the pose. You can shake the limbs out, free the limbs. And now chair's coming back to the right. And we're going to attempt to sit on the chair with the right buttock for warrior two and side angle pose. So for just a reminder, the chairs are usually one size or they're whatever size they are, and we're all different proportions and sizes. So sometimes the chair, we can't exactly do the exact same shape. And one modification you might need to make is this left knee needs to be a little bit less extended. In other words, you need to bend it. So do your best to extend that leg, but if it's causing pain or a sense of shortening in your body, then skip it and just leave the left leg a bit more passive. We're going to come into warrior two, extending the arms across the floor. And attempt to kind of squeeze the outer right knee toward the wall behind you. And you're going to look gently over your right fingertips, but keep steering the torso to the left. So there's some dynamic action going on in your body of looking in one direction, turning the torso away from that direction, keeping your hips really facing the broad side of the mat. Descend your inner shoulder blades down your back so that your shoulders aren't climbing into your ears. There's a sense of ease in the shoulders and in the shoulder blades. And take the underside of the arm and just kind of bring it towards the top side of the arm for support. And go ahead and release the arms. We're gonna try to take the right arm down to the chair. So hopefully you have a leg you can grab, but if you don't have a leg, you could put your block here. Most of us should have legs because the chairs aren't just floating, but you can always use a block instead. So come back to your warrior two. Take an in-breath. And on your exhale, extend to your right. And if you can grab that chair leg with your right hand, do that. And if you need a block, you're going to use that. Left hand onto the left hip. And again, just feel how we kind of pitch forward. We lose the sense of spaciousness to the front body. So first order of business is finding that again. Roll your left shoulder back, bring your torso back, bring your head back. Lengthen through the crown, don't drop the crown. Keep rolling this top shoulder back. And then you'll take your left arm up, revolve the arm, palm faces right, and align the biceps with your ear. And create that really deep expression of side angle pose that this chair is kind of allowing us into today. It's giving us the freedom to sit down deeply and to kind of funnel our efforts into new places in the pose, where otherwise we might be really expending a lot of our energy on the lower half of the body. Good, keep taking the torso back, turning the right side body toward the ceiling. Just a couple more breaths. Don't let your head drop. Bring your left ear toward your left arm. And then use your top arm and inhale to come up. Good. And relax the arms. So to transition, just sit on your chair fully. We're going to take a seated version of child's pose. Bring your legs and feet together. And let your chest come onto your thighs. Let your arms dangle. Let your head dangle. And when the chest and thighs come together, we come into rest and digest mode. Brain is soothed. We flip the switch into parasympathetic nervous system. And then we'll help ourselves up. Lift your gaze. Bring your torso up. And we'll probably have to shift the chair left so that we can support the left buttock. So you might place your block, if you're using a block, you might place it right now so that we can come into that side angle pose. Otherwise, you're going to kind of back up a little bit with your buttock toward the back of the chair so you have the space to grab onto the leg. And again, if you're not really feeling much support here, sometimes you need to put a blanket or some height under the sitting side, under the left buttock. Can raise the seat to give a little more spaciousness to the hip joint. You can also raise the foot and stand on a block if you're needing to, but just take a moment to find your knee in line with your hip. Your knee in line with your heel. And also the knee should be tracking with your second toe. So again, magnetize or squeeze the knee toward the pinky toe side. Extend the arms. And revolve the torso now to the right, so that your shoulders and your hips are facing the broad side of the mat. And with that, try to keep the knee squeezing toward the small toe side. Roll the left buttock toward the camera. Soften the inner shoulder blades. And then gently look over the left hand, but don't let your gaze pull you to the left. Imagine someone's just holding firmly your right wrist, not letting you go anywhere, not letting you pull away. And give your eyes roots to the back of the head. Take an inhale, on your exhale, extend left. And we're going to take hold of the chair leg in front of, to the inside of the left leg. Or ground the hand to a block. Right hand to your right hip. And first just notice how we're tending to kind of lean toward the floor with the chest. So roll that right shoulder back. Roll the left buttock toward the camera. Take your head back, the back of your head back. Rotate the abdomen left to right. Grab the floor with the outer right foot. And then from there, stack the right arm vertically, revolve the arm, palm faces left, and align the right biceps with the right ear. Good. Holding effort, which is contraction, but can you make it spacious? Can you tap into that sense of freedom, which is a true sign that we're not under or overdoing? Good. Now sweep the arms back to warrior two. And then go ahead and release the arms. And again, come into that seated version of child's pose. So legs and feet together, your butt fully on the chair, and chest and thighs connected, arms dangling, head dangling. Good. Take hold of your chair, seat, look forward, bring yourself up. We're gonna come into high and low Par Tanasana. So we can just keep the chair on one side and we'll do both sides with the chair in place there. So we're gonna start with the high part of the chair facing us. And we'll start also with the right foot forward, the left foot back. And the distance we're looking for here, I'm gonna have to move my chair a little bit off so that my feet stay on the mat. More important to have your own feet on the mat than the chair feet for this one. But we want the distance where you can extend the arms. So I have my wrists on the chair, but you can choose to grab the chair. It's really whatever feels better in your body. And we wanna create the torso becoming level with the floor position. So take a moment to look at your feet. Make sure you have enough distance between your feet that you can square your hips. And to revolve the hips to become more level, see if you can scrub the right heel toward the back of the mat and scrub the left foot toward the front of the mat. In other words, slightly clamp your feet. And let your ears just kind of float between the arms. And try to keep a sense of spaciousness to your right side body, where we tend to shorten. And roll the outer right hip back. And use the arms to help you keep the sides of the trunk long. Keep the arms fully extended. Now look forward, bend your right knee, help yourself step forward. We're going to switch the legs to do the high position left side. We'll take your right foot back and find the distance you need so you can fully extend the arms and align the torso with the floor. We want to be as horizontal with the trunk as we can. And then again, try to find that clamping action with your feet. Drag the left foot back, pull the right foot forward, squeeze your hips together. Try to create more evenness to the torso, left and right. Cultivating a sense of spaciousness in the torso that we want to keep maintained when we do the full forward bend. Good, so the second stage will be more restful. Look forward, bend your left knee, help yourself step in. And now we'll use the seat of the chair. And if you like, you could put something soft over top of it. So you don't have to rest on cold metal or wood or whatever you're working with. And then you'll set yourself up again for the right side. So the right foot will be forward and the left foot will be back. And take a moment with your hands on the chair just to refine the hips, to revolve the hips, to scrub the feet, to get that alignment you need here. Take an in-breath to feel the spaciousness to both sides of your torso. And then on an exhale, try to maintain that spaciousness and come down onto your crossed forearms with your forehead. And if that's too low, you can always put a block between you and the chair so you can bring the chair up to you with props. Keep your legs active, extended, firm. Another 5 or 6 breaths here. And gently lift your head. Use your hands for support. Help yourself up a little bit. Bend your right leg and step your left foot forward. And from there, you can just right away step your right foot back and stay on your hands and just start to refine the concave lumbar position, the first stage of the forward bend. Revolving the hips, bringing the right hip forward, left hip back, scrubbing the feet together, extending the sides of the trunk evenly. Take a full in-breath, exhale, bow deeply, and try to get the head to connect with props, with your arms, with your chair. Enjoying the support of this version. In a more active class, we'd have hands-free version. We'd be working a lot harder to maintain the balance. Just a couple more breaths. Start to leave the pose by lifting the head, placing the hands, extending the arms, bend the front leg knee, step the back foot forward, and help yourself up. And we'll come back to mountain. So find your alternate interlock behind your back, hands behind your back, so the less favored interlock of the hands. Roll the shoulders back and extend the arms fully. Move the buttocks in, align the skull above the spine. Soften the front thighs into the back thighs. And then without disturbing the rest of the body, separate the hands alongside your sides. Close your eyes. Just creating that outer body firmness, the inner body spaciousness. Extending lines of energy beyond the boundary of the physical body, through the feet, through the crown of the head. And sensing the full circumference of each breath, not only vertically and horizontally, but from the front to the back ribs. Good. And open your eyes. Okay, so we'll do a couple more active postures. You can sit in the chair. We're going to turn the chair to face the camera. We're we're going to do chair pose in a chair. Imagine that. And then we're going to revolve chair pose. So legs and feet together. And then we're going to take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana position, and extend the arms fully. And just step firmly into your feet. Like you're lifting your butt up out of the chair using the effort of your legs and your feet. Create as much length in your trunk as you can. And exhale, release the arms. Good. So we're going to revolve chair pose now. Modified, I'll show you first in case you need that. We're going to attempt to take the arm to the opposite outer leg, but for some of us that's uncomfortable, not possible, etc. So you can take the arm to the inner same side leg as your modification if you can't reach the outer opposite. Okay, so know that you always have options. We're going to start by raising the left arm. Extend forward about 45 degrees. And either take that arm to the inside same side leg or outside opposite side leg. And if you're outside opposite side leg, try to grab the chair leg, which will give you stronger connection. Yep. Take your right hand up to the back middle part of the chair, with the high part of the chair in the middle. And using the arms to leverage you, start to revolve to the right. And remember how that crown of the head likes to fall and the body likes to turn toward the floor. So lift the crown of the head and steer the back body back. Like somebody grabbed your ponytail. If you don't have one, just imagine you do. And they're gently drawing you back. And now step into your feet and legs as if you were doing this without a chair under your butt. Just hold for a few moments. See if you can clear that left armpit chest out of the shadows. Awesome. Rest and digest. So you're going to help yourself connect your chest with your thighs. Keep your legs and feet joined or join them if they were separated. Bow the head, dangle the arms. And then help yourself sit up. So chair pose first, then revolving chair pose second. Legs and feet together, extend the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And now use your legs, use your feet to take some of the weight of the buttocks out of the chair. Don't let your eyebrows lift, don't harden your temples. Keep your thighs close to the floor, keep your shoulders connected with your torso, not climbing into your ears. Lengthen your trunk. Come to the top of the in-breath, exhale, release the arms. So we'll revolve the pose to the other direction, this time raising the right arm up. Inhale. Lengthen forward 45 degrees. And either drop that arm to the inside right knee or outside left knee. If you can do outside left knee, you're going to grab for the chair leg if possible. Take the left hand up to the center of the high part of the chair. And use the crown of the head to extend the spine. So as if there's a rope there and it's being lengthened out diagonally. Take the torso back. Take your torso to the right. Revolve the left side, right side body around. Every exhale, a chance to go deeper. And now step into your legs and feet. Get a little lighter in the seat of your chair. Finish up your exhalation and gently unwind the torso. This version of seated forward bend, we're going to separate the legs. Sit way back in your chair. Let your hands come down. Let your head come down. And now either grab the first two chair legs, or some of us can reach the back. Let your head dangle. And if you went to the back chair legs, start to release. You're on those front chair legs, also release. We're all going to walk our hands forward. Look forward, and then take your hands onto your thighs one at a time. Pressing into your thighs, bring your torso up. Good. So last standing pose we're going to do is wide-legged seated forward bend with the chair support. You can stand up and bring the chair in front of you. And again, this is a good one to add a blanket to the seat. We'll be working with the seat of the chair. You can always work with the higher part of the chair if you're having a stiff day and you need more space to allow for a sense of spaciousness. Once you have the chair set up, you can step wide and just come onto your arms with your shoulders in line with your wrists. Balance your feet and see that your feet are aligning toes forward in front of heels. Good. We're gathering the extension of the spine, finding a sense of spaciousness there. Come to the top of the in-breath. And then exhale, lengthen forward. And this is another one you might need to add additional propping, but we want to get the forehead down. Keep scanning the soles of your feet and adjusting to balance the feet. The front weight of the feet, the back weight of the feet, the weight of the outer feet, the weight of the inner feet. Even connection of the toe pads, ball mounds, heels. Gently drawing the front body to the back body to cancel out the effects of gravity. And with this version, notice there's more spaciousness in your hip joints. For some of us, we feel very collapsed there when the head is on the floor. We'll stay another minute. Start to slowly lift your head. Use the support of your arms to bring you up. And start to work the feet back together. And we're going to be moving on to our backs. So you can start to put your chair aside. I'm going to have you bring the chair toward the side of the mat where your feet will be. We're going to use it for the lower legs. We're going to take a version of legs up the wall pose that doesn't require a wall. And we want to give the lower back some height. So you might fold 1 or 2 blankets and stack them. If you have a bolster, that works too. I know some of you have bolsters at home. but you could put 1 or 2 blankets where your lower back is going to go. And we're also going to be supporting the lower legs. So it's a little bit of a setup. You can start by kind of sitting on the chair, or sorry, sitting on the props, either the blankets or the bolster. And then help yourself down. And then elevate the lower legs onto the chair. And if you have lots of blankets, it's also nice, nice to put one of the blankets on the chair seat, especially if you have shorts on like I do. It can be kind of cold. But we're going to come into Viparita Karani here, legs up the wall pose, chair version. Kind of have a little bit more bend in your knees if you can. I can't tell who that is. It's just legs I have to recognize here. It might be Kathleen. Yeah, I know you have that one knee that's limited, but yeah, that's better. And then unfold your arms, palms turned up. And try to adjust your head by rocking it to invite the back of the neck closer to the floor, your chin and chest closer together. And do what you can to bring the outer upper arms down and to lift the inner arms up. So the legs in our standing poses really are doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And this pose is really wonderful at addressing leg fatigue and helping us release the efforts of the legs. It's also an inversion, and so we're getting a really healthy blood supply up to the brain and giving the heart a break from pumping. And so we're going to just kind of let the body do its thing here. Like gravity, gently press the abdomen down on the exhale to help you extend the outgoing breath. Trust that enough inhale will come in. You don't have to suck in breath actively. Your body naturally breathes in as much breath as it needs. And with the support behind the lower back, just kind of drop an anchor, an imaginary anchor, so that you sense you don't stop where the props and the floor begins, that you continue. Even here, we can have default contraction in the body. We can have default tension or even effort. So letting your attention scan throughout the body, inviting a sense of surrender. We're going to transition now gently because we've come into a quieter place. So just try to move in a way that keeps you quiet and still in the brain. And help yourself lower your legs and roll to your side. And you're going to set up for Savasana. So make sure your head has the support it needs. Maybe behind the knees, maybe a blanket over your body. Eyes softly closed. And now paying extra attention to the face, quieting the skin around the sense organs, ears, eyes, nose and mouth. Softening at the eyebrow center. Deep into the center of your head. Relaxing inside of the mouth. All the way back to the root of the tongue. Softening your throat. Surrendering the entire chain of the spine, brainstem to tailbone. And letting these anchors of your head, shoulders, hips, and heels continue to descend their weight into the floor and bring a sense of lightness to other areas of your body. Heart center, the belly, the flesh of your legs, pelvis. Observe your breath as it is once you've addressed the tensions of the physical body. The breath is really the driver of the nervous system. Whatever we can do to support the breath flowing in its most nurturing, medicinal way, we want to do that. Let your next breath be deep and cleansing. And try to allow as much breath to flow out as you can. And when you finish that breath, just pick back up with easy breathing. Begin to wake up the body with very small, simple movement. Fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, head and neck. And then begin to fold your limbs and bring your hands onto your chest or belly. Slide your feet, soles of the feet onto the floor. Ease yourself over to one side. And from there, gently find your way to seated. Sukhasana, good space pose. Just sense the good space in your body. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Let's inhale deeply through the nose and let it go. From the place within me that I know to be divine, I honor that place within each of you. Namaste. Great. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope to see you soon. And let me know how it went.